Warning: the following opinions and views of the Chrono Shack podcast do not reflect the sport of airsoft as a whole. Viewer discretion is advised.
Wrong frickin' setting. Okay, there we go. Welcome, everybody. It's been a while. I'm your host, TDL Sasquatch, and welcome to the Airsoft Chrono Shack podcast. I'm joined today with my good buddy, Dalton Stearns.
Hello.
And you've been working on something.
I have.
Tell
I've
us
been
about
working. So I'll preface with I have not designed the one that I currently have.
Okay.
But I am using his design to kind of make my own. So right now, I am actually in the process of creating my own electric speed loader prototype.
Okay.
Right now, Fishy Creations or Fishy Airsoft is the original creator of the and we can include a link of the electric speed loader mini,
Okay.
as well as the he has an ammo can version, and both designs are relatively similar.
Yeah.
But I'm currently working on making a design that is literally half the size and doesn't sacrifice any BB capacity at all. So, yeah.
So, would you say it's something that you could hook up to a bigger container and just send it, or?
I mean, yeah, it could be.
Okay.
So right now we're still prototyping. I'm being assisted by my partner. He is a mechanical engineering student at WSU.
Sweet.
He is what? Oh, sorry. He is really taking the spearhead on the actual physical design. I've more so just came to him with the idea, and he's got the expertise to make it a reality.
Nice.
So right now, the way the mini or the fishy mini is what I'm going to be calling it. Right now it can hold about 2,500 BBs. And then it's also got threads to be able to hold like the standard like wide mouth ASG bottles, ASG
Okay.
BB bottles. So you can just throw that on for another 2,000 plus BBs. We've
That's going to
been
be a game changer once that's all
it is. And this is no slight on EMG or any other company.
right.
It has a bigger battery capacity, or it has a bigger battery space. So you can actually fit a standard size 11.1 7.4 lipo inside the battery compartment, because the I've talked to a couple other airsofters that use like the EMG Autobot. I know a person that uses the Bull Gear I don't remember what they call theirs, but Bull Gear has their own electric speed loader as well. Laylax has one as well. I didn't know that until I looked into it a little bit
Me
more.
neither, until you just mentioned it. Wow.
Exactly. Laylax's is actually the cheapest, $62.
That's
Granted,
not
you're ordering it from, where are they based? Taiwan?
yeah.
Or are they based in China?
Um,
I think they're based in one of the two.
Let's see. Well, actually they are. I think they're based in one of those, but Art from Nomad Airsoft mentioned to me that they have a warehouse now here locally in the state, which is huge.
They do, yes.
Yes.
I wonder how that's going to impact the tariffs and everything.
Yeah,
But
that's another talking point that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, I think that's a topic we can address later.
Yeah.
Going back into that speed loader, right now, we're still in the process of finding a motor that works. We ordered some planetary gear motors, and they were no bigger than my pinky. They were super tiny, so
Wow.
they not going to give us the torque that we need to be able to still feed. Because right now the fishy, you have to use a stronger motor. The base model uses 35 kilogram servo motors to feed mags, and they feed pretty freaking fast. It's about I'd say no more than 10 to 15 seconds to fill a standard like EMG hex mag.
That's pretty decent.
It's pretty freaking fast.
Yeah.
To feed EPMs though, we have to use a 60 kilogram motor, and it is a lot stronger, and it feeds a lot faster. Yeah, but with the new design, we're hoping that we can use a smaller motor, better optimize the space, because there's a lot of unused space that could be held for either BBs or just make the device itself overall smaller. Because right now it's about as big as the 249 box mag, if not
Okay.
maybe a little bigger. So that's a pretty big thing to be lugging around. And the whole idea is to not only beat out EMG or Bull Gear or Laylax. The idea is to just make it, to take everything that everybody's little gripes and complaints that everybody else has about the other speed loaders, and kind of just make, maybe not the perfect in most people's eyes, but the best of all other speed loaders.
The more reasonable option is what you guys are trying to make. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, definitely.
Right now, my cost is electronic components alone. That's not including filament, because these are 3D printed shells. Because injection molding is insanely expensive. With not including filament cost, right now our cost is right around $15-20. So with standard 1.5% markup or 2% markup, whatever we decide to do in the business model, we're still going to be undercutting Laylax, EMG, Bull Gear, and generally just providing a cheaper product. Because right now, EMG Autobot's listed for, I want to say, $82 on Evike.
Right.
I don't know about most people, but Evike takes about 2 weeks to finally get to you. And if you show up to Nighthawk, you can get one from me for $70. So
yeah,
we're
definitely
we're hoping to get there. Right now, I'm still selling Fishy's design, because I have permission and license from him to do so. But the goal is to eventually, once we have my own design ready for production, is to expand it into the online market as well, and reach out to some other companies and see if they'd be interested in taking it on.
Yeah, definitely. No, that'd be a game changer, because I mean, if you make it, think of it this way, if it's like a little bit more expensive than like an Odin, because Odin's like what, $40-50?
I'd say around 40, yeah.
40,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's not including any adapters that you need, because the ARP9 the standard ARP9 adapter is just horrendous. It doesn't do the job effectively, and having all these different adapters that you need for just one single speed loader that you have to sit there and crank, and sometimes even EPM, it doesn't even fill EPM bags all the way.
No.
So finding a good alternative that is you're filling your mags as much as possible is going to be a lot better of an option, and you're going to be spending a little bit less money.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's going to be huge. In future episodes and stuff like that, I'll keep updates on that project for sure. And yeah, no, with everything going up with yeah, well, that'll be a later topic in the in the episode. It's a little bit frustrating there, no matter how you look at it. If you're in the sport, it affects us all. But no, that's going to be huge, especially in the local community as well. I mean,
that's the goal, is to provide for the local community. The money, yeah, it's a nice plus, but being able to provide a service and be there for the community and grow the Nighthawk family, that's my whole reason for doing it. Because every game that I've been to, we've put one up for raffle, and somebody's gotten one for free, and so far two people have received them, and they've been freaking ecstatic to get them. So
sweet.
I'm happy to be providing a service.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Awesome. All right, what's happening in the state of Washington for game wise? I know that there's some CNCs that are coming up. I think Nighthawk just had their season opener, and
that was this last weekend.
Yeah, did you attend that one, or?
I did not.
Okay.
I was at drill, which sucks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard from what I heard in Discord, there was like 2 inches of ice, and some cars got stuck in the parking lot.
Oof.
So
that wouldn't be the first time.
Really?
No, I have gotten stuck before.
Oh snap!
And we've had help other people in trucks get unstuck.
Yeah, no, it's some of that area. Well, what's nice, I mean, they did really improve the roads and parking lot. I think it was Scarecrow that came around with like a cat dozer, and he was just going ham with it, or either a grader, and he was just leveling everything out. So that's exciting.
The entrance, that big bump that was there in the beginning is moved over, so it's a lot easier of a transition coming off the highway and pulling into Nighthawk.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Nighthawk, a couple of Command and Conquers. I know the beginning of March, Siberian Strike is happening. That's their annual. It's a soft milsim type of game.
Definitely not as in depth as other events like Fallujah.
Right.
Don't forget the Will You BB Mine at the end of this month.
Yeah, that is happening at the end of February. That's their Valentine's Day themed game.
And rumor has it Meeseeks will be around and he'll be playing Cupid.
That's going to be interesting to see.
It's going to be hilarious. Their whole idea is to do a little infection game mode at the end of the day, and it'll be whoever gets killed by Cupid is now on his team, and they're just spreading love.
That's going to be fun. Oh man,
I agree.
Yeah, the one that I'm going to be attending. Everybody who's going to be listening to the podcast, you know me in the Discord. So I'm volunteering to be the weapons merchant for the Fallout game that's happening. That's going to be a lot of fun. That one is more of a role play, like, you're in the world of the post-apocalyptic. That one's very exciting. Yeah, New Spokane. For copyright reasons and stuff like that, you got to rename it a little bit, but it's still basically the premise of the theme. I did make an ad for the website, and we'll check it out here. It gives you a little summary of what it is and what to expect.
As we know it has ended. Resources are scarce, factions are rising, and only the strongest will survive. It's time to grab your gear, form alliances, and enter the wasteland for the ultimate post-apocalyptic roleplay experience. A lawless land where bottle caps are the currency at best. A world where radiation runs rapid. Watch your Geiger counters. And multiple factions that are on the rise. The New Republic. The Tsar's Legion. And the Brotherhood. Choose your path wisely. Bandits, survivors, raiders, warlords, and fight for control of the wasteland. Make sure to get your meds from the doctor and right away as well. Anything can happen in the wasteland. Experience intense tactical missions, salvage operations, and thrilling ambushes. Limited ammo, supply drops, loot, and environmental hazards add a new level of realism in the post-apocalyptic world. Raiders and ghouls running rampant in the streets of Brandenburg. From uranium fever to feral ghouls, Nighthawk Paintball and Airsoft is your premier location for your post-apocalyptic experience. For more information on this event, check out nighthawkpaintball.com.
I'm a novice editor, but it was fun to make that for that event. As you can see here, it is $50 a ticket for pre-orders. That goes up about $10 at the door if you don't pre-register. So I recommend getting your pre-registers in now. I believe they are. I think they're doing pre-registers right now. If you can get tickets, yeah, you can get tickets right now. Pre-reg ends April 23rd, so that's 3 days before the game happening. So that is happening right now.
I don't know if you've covered, but have you covered the new website?
Oh, no, I haven't, actually. This is actually the new website that they put up. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, so...
Of course.
Yeah, so in 10 days, it's the Will You Be Mine, Command & Conquer. And then we got Siberian Strike, March Madness, Command & Conquer in April, New Spokane, Walk the Line. So they got a fresh new website that they made with all of the airsoft events as well as the paintball events that you can find on here.
And you can even order food before you show up.
Did they really add that?
Yeah, look in the Combat Cafe.
That's freaking cool.
Exactly.
Dude.
I agree. Pops did a freaking phenomenal job on this.
Yeah, he did. And the
Not
food
just
is pretty...
open those-
Yeah.
look at those prices. $3 for a sausage dog. That doesn't sound bad at all to me.
Dude, I pound 3 glizzies every time I go.
That and the Frito pie. Listen, I had Frito pie last time, and
yeah, it's pretty good.
It was pretty freaking good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty affordable. They're really adamant about bringing water there, and there's a lot of guys that'll bring cases of water too. Can't go. And then it looks like you can.
The supply shack's been upgraded.
Yes.
They've got all of they got the smoke grenades, EG67s. I know Pop's just got a couple cases of them in. You can also, if you need to, rent freaking HPA tanks if you need them.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, if you go over to if you scroll back up, if you go over to Nighthawk gear, actually no, it's not under the gear. If you go, I think it's something you have to ask them at the door or at the check-in stand. Actually, no, it's under rentals. If you go under airsoft rentals and choose options, it'll give you the option to rent an HPA tank. See there, bottom right of the add-ons on the right.
Oh yeah, definitely. There we go. And then batteries, extra max, lower mesh.
Exactly.
You know, and then that's not bad for $25 either.
Exactly, the whole kit and caboodle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big thing. Shout out to my team, TDL Industries. They got Wi-Fi set up there. So you have access to Wi-Fi for the day or a weekend, however long you need it. Personally, that's a
necessity.
It's a good thing to have, but for the most part, I like being this is my personal opinion. I like being unplugged.
It's a good opportunity to get unplugged, but sometimes whether it's transferring money because
true,
you need to transfer money or whatever it is you need to do. I like using the Wi-Fi to upload. Because I don't get good service, so I'll upload my GoPro videos up into the cloud, and instead of using my phone, because the storage on my phone gets filled so freaking fast. It's easier to just upload it through the GoPro app.
Yeah.
So that I can, because I don't have very many big SD cards.
Yeah,
so it's easier to just upload my videos.
I never thought about doing that. I need to do that definitely. Especially with the old Hero 3 that I have, and only like 32 gigs that it can handle. It's a dinosaur.
Oh, listen, I still have that. Which is this the Hero? Yeah, we have that 3+ that we still need to give you. I keep forgetting about that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I totally forgot about that.
It's only got the one. I don't know where the other battery pack is, but it's got the one battery pack. I'd probably replace them if I were you, though.
Yeah. I constantly replace mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's happening. Another thing that's been happening. The Yakima field. So a lot of stuff that's been happening with the Yakima field has been going on, and they have given me permission to advertise it, and they are no longer associated with Tacoma Airsoft Center. They are their own entity right now. I know they're hosting games. So the Tacoma owner came by and he took all of the barricades that said TAC on them. So they were starting fresh. I played there a few weekends ago, and it was interesting because it was all open field and you had no cover at all. So it was
that sounds frustrating.
Dude, it was like room to room. I mean, it was a little bit, but I mean, with their situation, it was understandable.
Well, I understand. I mean, like the owner coming and just taking everything with TAC on it. Like that's frustrating, but it's good for them to be their own entity.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it's a new chapter for the Yakima Airsoft Center, and I'm excited for it. I need to take a trip down there. You guys are just too far away.
I know, man. I need to take a trip down to CQB Underground. That's like a 5-hour drive.
That's 3 hours for me, and the maths.
Yeah. No, I wish.
Speaking of CQB Underground, I think they're still doing events. I want to say it's Friday, Saturdays.
Let's take a look at their website.
Yeah, Friday, Saturdays. Fridays 5 to 9, and then Saturdays are 12 to 5.
Okay.
That and I talked to the owner Dalton. Mm-hmm. He's they try to change the field pretty often. It's I want to say every 5 to 6 weeks they rearrange the field.
Oh, that's good. Keeping it fresh.
Yeah, keeping it real fresh.
Yeah.
That and this is a pretty good cinematic. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over.
No. You're good. You're good. That's it. Oh, hello.
That emblem just looks so good. Their logo is beautiful.
Yeah, they got a good logo. I've got a camera of Autumn's that I want to mess around with and make some cinematics for Nighthawk as well.
That'd be pretty good. I think I need to continue my my war correspondent series that I was trying to do. Because it was just like mid games, I was just running up to people with my phone out and recording little snippets with them of how do you think the war's going. It's pretty freaking funny.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out too. Let's see, rules, rates, membership. Let's take a look here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here is their $25 per session. 6 to 9, 5 to 9, 12 to 5. Yeah, that's not bad. Rental's $10.
That's in my opinion a very market average price. $25 is, I want to say, almost the industry standard. Unless you get to some other fields where they're just the cost of living is a little bit higher, so they have to have higher prices to accommodate and make sure that they can still afford their rent and everything.
Yeah, with Yakima it's a little bit difficult. I do know for their prices right now, and this is for it's $25 all day, and then it's $10 a rental, and then what they do too is like if you just have time for a round, it's like $5 a round. So if you just want to do like 3 rounds,
oh, that's cheap.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah. I think that was the pricing. I want to confirm that real quick.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just gonna back up my because I did some posts on Yakima Airsoft Gamers. There we go. Yeah, $25 all day self-equipped and $40 with rental. So that's not too bad.
That's a pretty decent price.
And then they had I think they had a special where it's like 10 all-day gameplay days for $150, and that's $15 for all day. So if you're very avid into it and want to save a little bit of money in the long run, I would recommend that. And I mean, that's not bad. If you think about it, that's like 10 Saturdays out of the week or 10 Sundays, however you want to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
And then, so yes, so self-equipped, it's $5 a round, and then with rentals, it's $10 a round. So like, say you only have time for 2 games, that's $20. So that's not too bad. I mean, prices might fluctuate a little bit. They are starting out again. They're starting fresh. I do know one of the admins know in there. Shout out to him. He's been buzzing around his pickup truck and picking up pallets, and they're remaking some barricades and stuff like that. There's a few airsoft YouTubers in the local area that have been making videos with all the new field barricades and such, so it looks good. Looks like they're working on a kill house in the middle of it.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. But yeah, that's happening. What else is happening? I think that covers it for stuff that's happening recently. As of right now, for like new products wise, we mentioned we were talking about that just a bit earlier. TTI with Woverine MTW/EMG, they created a monster.
Yeah, the freaking Gen 12 Dracaris.
Yeah.
I've already watched a couple of videos, and I have a friend who went to SHOT Show, and he got his hands on it, and he said it was a monster.
Yeah.
The videos that I've watched even just reinforce that even more. I love the frac, the picture that you have up there where they have the nozzle or the HVA hookup in the back.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that to my MTW.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I need to do that to mine. If I remember the video correctly, it fires 8 shots on semi.
And it's full auto too, isn't it?
It is.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
semi and full auto. So that's I'm reading the little description there. That's delivering 8 BBs per shot in a semi or full auto, up to 6 times per second. That is a freaking monster. Could you imagine getting full auto to 8 BBs per second? That is.
Yeah. I can already tell that there's going to be some field limitations and, MED involved with this stuff.
Definitely. Even just like firing once and you're already getting hit with 8 BBs.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I hate, it's getting overshot. And
Right.
I think it's going to be, if anybody does get their hands on this, it's going to be a
semi-only.
Yeah, it's going to be semi-only. I'd be very surprised if any fields that would allow full auto, even like an outdoor field, that's almost as much as it's almost as much as a LMG. That's even more so.
Yeah.
Let me do some quick math here real quick.
Yeah, the other thing I'd be worried about is like, joule limits. Like, honestly, I see this as just being strictly a joule or just less than a joule when hooking up to the regulator and make sure it's turning locked.
I mean, yeah, I just doing the math, 8 times 6, that's 48 rounds per second.
Jeez.
That is, I definitely imagine there won't be any feathering of the trigger. There won't be any.
No.
Full auto will be very, very tightly constricted.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that much. And that's keeping safety in mind because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about you, but getting shot 48 times in a second, that's too much for me. This last game that Lissa and I went to, the very first game in January, I got full auto through a window, and man, was I heated. I hate getting shot up.
Yeah,
it's my least favorite part.
Yeah, definitely. No, this thing is insane. I know our main guy TDL Merlin, who is the mastermind behind our team and everything that he initially built my sniper rifle. Shout out to Merlin. He got his hands on one of these, and he also got hands on the Terran Tactical MPX as well. And already he's like, I'm just gonna F2 swap this, and I'm like, Jesus, Merlin, you already F2 swap the MPX. I'm like, you'd be the type of guy just out of spite to F2 swap the Woverine, even though it doesn't need it.
No, I personally, I've actually really enjoyed my MTW. I've got the billet series. I want to say I have the 10-inch. I freaking love it, man. This thing, it was perfect out of the box. I didn't have to mess with it. I don't have to fiddle with it at all. I even took it to Missouri with me, and I used it at the field out there, the Rock, and it was a freaking monster, man. It's a beautiful replica, and I just love it.
Yeah, how much do one of those run MSRP?
For the shorts, I think the smallest is the 7-inch, is about $750. For the 10-inch, you're getting closer to $800. And then I want to say they have like a 13 or 14-inch, and that's, I want to say like $825, $830 around there. I could be wrong, of course. I haven't looked at the prices recently.
I mean, that for HPA, everything built in, that's pretty decent.
That's a decent price. Not just that, but a full metal construction. To put the battery in, you break it down like a regular AR. Where you pull out the back pin, and the upper hinges down. And then you pull out the little battery connector that goes into the buffer tube, and plug your battery and stick it in down the buffer tube, and put it back together, and you're freaking rocking.
Holy cow!
Yeah, the ETU is separate from the actual engine itself. The engine itself is mounted completely inside the upper, and then it's got metal contacts that contact with the ETU when it's fully collapsed, and that's what gives you your electrical connection to fire the cylinder.
No, that sounds like if I have a chance, like I told myself I don't need any more replicas. No, okay. Viewers at home, never say never in this.
You can never have too. You can never have too many.
I know, but it's like I would love to have like Arcturus AK, but and then an MTW would be cool to have.
As an owner of an MTW, I freaking love it, man.
Yeah, like right now, I still need to try out my Kythera swapped Mark 12 that I made.
I was gonna ask about that. How did that go?
Well, I've done tests in the. I haven't taken it out to the field yet. I still have yet to do that.
You need to get out there,
dude. I haven't been outside in months. It's been terrible.
Touch grass.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, like I've been spending a lot of time here on the tech booth desk, and not a lot of time out on the field. Also update. Everything's stable on the. I wouldn't say it's a nightmare, but it was a nightmare taking and building this VSR. But it's shooting. I'm gonna try to get it to shoot consistently, but we're looking at 2.3 to 2.5 joules, so it's not too bad. It's
a bit of a jump though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound too bad though. Once you get it,
I think it just needs breaking in.
Yeah, it could just be that hop up that, and it's cold. You just gotta, you gotta get it broken in.
Well, honestly, what's the thing is, it's a pre-broken in hop too. It's a it's my old Angel Custom TDC hop unit with the Lilacs Type Bore 6.01, and then it's S hopped. So
I don't know. It could just be something that's just slightly misaligned.
It could be that. Well, there was a lot of filing and stuff and sanding I had to do to make everything fit because it was a well base and trying to slap that stuff together. And I know you were talking about, building something in the future for Lissa. And I will say this, avoid well with all your power. This might be a little biased.
I want to try out the. I mean, but you're one of the people that I talk to that is has most of the experience when it comes to snipers and running as a sniper. I think I want to give. I've heard some negative things about the Bolt M, but I think I want to give it a shot, and I think the Bolt M is probably
that's the mechanical one, isn't it?
It is fully mechanical. It's MTW's response to Polar Star's Kythera.
Got you. Okay, because the Bolt I have in mine, it's the Bolt E. So you hook up a battery and it works the solenoid. And honestly, it's fantastic.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm excited. I want to try it with I was telling you, I want to try it with the Wraith X, where it's not the 13 cubic inch, but it runs off of like the 12 or 33 gram CO2 cartridges.
Right.
I think once I can free myself of having a tank with me, I think it'll be a lot better, and I might be a little bit happier not carrying around as much crap with me.
Yeah. So mine initially, I had it HPA tapped because I had one of those CO2 rigs on it. The thing that sucks is that when in the middle of a firefight or when you're trying to sneak around, it is a pain in the ass when you run out of CO2 and you got to change it, and you're at risk of blowing O-ring so much to where it gives away your position and then you're SOL. Because I've been behind the Crucible before and changing a CO2 cartridge, and then all of a sudden you hear because I didn't place it just slightly wrong. And it was just frustrating. The little tank, the little 13 CI tank that you can run, HPA tank, I'm going to be running that instead of the big 48.
I had one. So little sidebar, real quick.
Yeah.
When Lissa and I went to, I think I told you this. When Lissa and I went to Missouri, we flew with our HPA tanks. We flew out of Spokane Airport, and everything was kind of great. My interpretation, granted, this might be my fault. My interpretation of the TSA regulations when it comes to traveling with compressed air tanks was that the regulator that I used to connect to the replica had to be off, not the actual on-tank regulator where they can see inside. But they didn't make us take the on-tank regulators off. They just told us to, hey, make sure that they're empty and put them in your checked bag. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went back through TSA backwards and took it back to the desk and put it in our checked bag. And then came back. They made me go through TSA again, the jerks.
Oh my gosh.
And then we flew to Missouri. It was great. It was fine. Well, we were only there for 3 days. But we play. We're having a great time. And we go to fly out of Kansas City Airport, and it wasn't even actually TSA. It was a subcontractor, and the frickin' bastards confiscated our air tanks, saying it was contraband.
For an air tank.
So for a compressed air tank that was empty. Granted, I hadn't taken off the on tank regulator, but I flew out of Spokane with it, and it wasn't a problem. And they didn't leave a note or anything saying, hey, like your bag was inspected or anything. So they just straight up stole from us.
Yeah, did you get
And
reimbursed?
We did get reimbursed. We went through Delta because we flew with Delta, and they reimbursed us for it. So praise be Delta. Thank you guys for helping us out in that situation. And we went and bought, because we had two 48 cubic inch tanks, and then I bought the one 13 cubic inch, and it was great. It was lasting me. I used it at Nighthawk once, and it lasted about one game. So that was about a perfect level of. It was just right. And then this time, once we got reimbursed, Lissa and I both bought 26 cubic inch tanks, because it was that kind of in between of the 48 and the 13.
Yeah.
And I used it this last game in January, and I was running out of BBs before I was running out of air.
Okay.
And I run 8 mags, so I'm running 8 EPM ones, and I was running out of BBs before I was running out of air.
And those MTWs are like very air efficient too.
Extremely. It was with the MTW that I was running that 13 cubic inch, and the air lasted me about one whole game, and that was about a 30-45 minute game.
Yeah, no, that's a good time of a game too. And that's the thing with sniping, with that 13 cubic inch for like semi-auto DMRs and bolt actions, they're perfect. Which is why I'm like, I'm gonna downsize, because I have the aluminum one. It's hanging off my ass, and it's so heavy. Lugging it around on a battle belt.
I was getting frustrated having to. We didn't even have it on the battle belt yet. Yeah. We were running our 48 cubic inches out of backpacks, and I hate wearing a backpack. If I don't have to wear one, I'm not wearing one.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just unnecessary space, and it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why I got that 13 cubic inch, and I bought. I'll have to show you. Do you have a pouch for your 13 cubic inch already?
I do not yet.
Okay, let me hook you up. I'll give you mine.
Okay.
Because I don't have a 13 cubic inch anymore, but it's
if you'd like to, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's from WT Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Idea.
Okay.
I'll send you a picture of it, and it's a canvas, and it's got elastic around it, and it fits. It's perfect. It fit on my battle belt perfect. You won't be able to, unless you use zip ties, you won't be able to mount it horizontal. But even sitting vertically, it has such a low profile that I put it on my right hip, on the back of my right hip, and I didn't even know it was freaking there, man.
Yeah.
It was nice to have.
Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah,
of course.
You. Yeah, no, the other thing that I've seen a YouTube video on this when it comes to air tanks and stuff. There was a gentleman, I don't know what cubic inch it is. I think it might be that 26, because that 26 is like a little bit stubbier than the 13, isn't it?
It's more comparable to like a man, I'm trying to think of a comparison.
Yeah, because I'm thinking measurements, because there's this guy that teched in an HPA tank with his Woverine bolt into the stock. So
I don't think a 26 would fit in there.
Okay, so it'll probably be a 13 cubic inch, and yeah, he just modified his stock.
A 13, yeah, you'd have to make the stock a little bit longer, but I think a 13 would fit pretty well in there.
Well, I think what he did is he cut the sides, and then he just camoed the tank itself. That way, it looked like part of the rifle stock, and I'm like, I would love to do that. I want to figure out how, but it's like I can't find plans or forums or anything anywhere.
Huh.
But I mean, it's an idea.
It is.
Honestly, I think it would work better than CO2, and you just keep your regulator warm in your tent.
But, that's the thing about playing in the cold, though, is you just gotta you gotta do things. You gotta take extra care to make sure everything's warm. Like when we played in January, we kept the truck running almost the entire time when we were not out on the field playing, just so we could keep our tanks warm. And I started running. I got my hands on some VX1 slugs from Matrix, and I freaking my first time shooting one. I was shooting it at a building so I could kill the people inside, because there were like 4 dudes in this little shack.
Yeah.
And I got ready to shoot it, and it went like 5 feet out and just dropped to the ground. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And the next game, I almost took Lissa's head off with it. She was standing in front of me, and I was trying to figure out which one I'd fired already. And I guess I wasn't pressing very hard. But I guess they were just that sensitive that I was testing the bottom to see which one was fired already, and it freaking went off right in her face.
Oh, jeez.
That's why you wear iPro, kids.
iPro and Face Pro if it's close quarters.
Yeah.
But I mean, but yeah, no. Shoot, what was I gonna say?
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I totally forgot. Oh yes. So if you guys are playing with a lot of cold, I will say the Woverine engine, it's a little bit finicky. The thing is with that is that you have to tune. I mean, you probably know this. You got to tune the hop up and everything each time that you're playing because different climates and all that stuff. It's a lot more finicky with the bolt action, especially with what previous setup I have. I think it's going to be easier because I have that TDC knob on top of the outer barrel, so that way I just need to adjust it on top by a click, which is a lot better than, you know, taking out your mag, opening up the bolt, flipping over your sniper rifle, taking your Allen key, sticking it into the hop up and twisting it a little bit, loading up your mag, closing the bolt.
Yeah, putting it all back together.
Dude.
Yeah, it sounds like a very tedious process.
Yeah, so I mean, the Woverine Bolt E is great. The HP bolts are great. I wouldn't rule out Spring if you have to. My Silverback SRS, that is strictly my spring gun, and that thing shoots like a damn dream. I have it S-hopped with a 6.03 inner barrel from Lambda, and I diamond polished it with 50,000 grit, so it's just mirror inside, and got a max hop up for it, and then I've got a Wasp piston coming, but I was outputting about 2.5 joules and hitting 95 yards with these.
Damn.
So, and that's the thing with the gameplay too, and I've mentioned it in previous episodes before, you're going to miss a lot of shots, and it's the satisfaction of hitting something precise.
Yeah, it's a niche play style that I hate that it's kind of like advertised to kids.
Yeah.
But I think once people like, for some people it works. It's the perfect play style. But I definitely wish that it wasn't so advocated for like little kids, because little kids get into airsoft and all they want to do is be a sniper, and it's just not a fun play style, and they end up getting out of it.
Yeah, no doubt. It can be, you hit it right on the head. But yeah, no. Check out the Bolt E too. And I'm gonna do some research on the Bolt M. I haven't researched that as much as I have on the other one, because I mean,
I think once I can get my hands on it, I think it'll go well.
Yeah, definitely. What else is happening? So that Woverine shotgun. Lancer Tactical's Gen 4 series. I covered this in an episode previously. I think his name is and Fernie or something like that. He did a really good in-depth review on the Lancer Gen 4, and honestly, I think it's very crispy and a very big step in the right direction for the company, with how the Gen 2s have been just a plague of bad luck and just bad product quality control and all that stuff. So I think it's a big step.
The other thing is S&T's SHOT Show booth. I think it was essentially the same as last year's, but I'm excited to see some of the replicas that they come out with. It's a lot of I thought they had a lot of World War II.
Yeah. I think
replicas.
It was like a SVT 40, and then there was a PPSH I saw.
Yeah. I think that'll be great for the airsoft community.
Yeah, I know that Alex is especially excited about that. I had him on at the previous episode.
I feel like S&T's trying to appeal to that more reenactor side of airsoft,
which is great.
I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, especially with the big World War II game that happened recently.
Are you talking about Elias's or Elias's games are a freaking hoot.
Yeah, I would love to go there one of these days too.
I've been. It's a lot of fun. You just gotta keep an eye out. It's not always. I don't want to say it's unsafe, but there's a lot of things that you gotta pay attention. You can't be complacent.
Right. Exactly. So there's a field shout out I want to do. I've been doing a lot of field shout outs throughout the state. And there is a YouTuber that made his own airsoft field. So he goes by the name of Wild Waves Airsoft, and he does a lot of content. I mean, on the west side, he's been to Forest Fire, Tags. I think he's been to a few east side games as well. So in Shelton, Washington, we've got Wild West Acres Airsoft Field. And
okay, I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, well, shoot, where is Shelton, Washington located? I think it's like
I thought Shelton was northern.
Shelton, Washington. Okay, so it's by Oakland Bay. Okay, so it's on the peninsula.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
So if you're going towards, it looks like Aberdeen.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're going up north, yeah, so it's north on the peninsula a little bit around the Olympic National Forest. So it's out of the Puget Sound, thank God. But yeah, he has a YouTube video about it. So we got a little snippet right here. Let's check it out.
Put out a statement.
Okay, so let's look at this.
A lot to do. 6 months later, and I would say I turned this into an airsoft field.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
I think it looks fun.
I mean, for a field that's in the woods, it doesn't look that bad.
Mm-mm. And it looks like cover is pretty, you know, level through.
It's level, but it's a little distant, so you got to be really careful and like pick and choose how you move and make sure that you have supporting fire.
You guys might be wondering.
Yeah, absolutely. He did mention that in the video that it's like close quarters and medium gauge and distances.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, for like a small business airsoft field starting out, it's pretty decent.
I mean, starting a field has always been my dream, and shoot, watching somebody do it is freaking awesome. Playing with a Elite Force 1911.
I think that's what it is.
Let's see if we can.
That's a 2011, I think.
Yeah, it might be a 2011. Pretty blocky. It looks good though. I like that.
Oh yeah.
That stainless steel look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a 2011.
Yeah. Very accurate shots.
That looks like a gold match.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that looks like a pretty decent field.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to give it a try. I don't know if I can do it this year. I need to take a trip out to the west side and play at Forest Fire and a couple of these other fields. It looks like it'd be fun.
I will say Forest Fire is a good time. Yeah, it was really solid. We did have a few run-ins with some not so good refs, so some of the TDL guys volunteered to help ref out, but that was a couple years ago. I think they drastically improved the staffing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I always volunteer because Alex is usually the only ref.
Mm-hmm.
Or Alex and Chris are usually one of the only ones reffing.
Yeah.
And so I'll always volunteer to help if I don't have my guns. I think one time we went up. Lissa and I went up just to ref. We didn't even actually play or anything. We just reffed. So
yeah,
I always like helping out.
Mm-hmm. That's what Beeper does when she's too tired to play. She's like, I'll put a jersey on, and so.
Well, Lissa's been helping out, taking pictures because Pop's injured his knees not doing too great. So
Ooh.
Lissa's been running out there and taking
Nice.
pictures for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of pictures, content, and stuff like that, I've been seeing, Eddie Valiant, US Airsoft, they've been covering a lot of how YouTube is just heavily censoring and shadow banning creators, whether it's airsoft or real still firearms. Like Demolition Ranch is retiring from YouTube because he can't keep up with, the guidelines, even though he is keeping up with the guidelines.
That explained why my video when I went and played airsoft in Missouri is not getting very many views.
Yeah.
Freaking jerks.
Yeah, it sucks. And it's like, everybody, like, your videos are complacent, my videos are complacent, you know. And I'm not one of those guys that rage baits or anything like that. Like, it's just gameplay. It's not, oh, this kid was toxic, I'm gonna mag dump him and stuff
Or
like that.
like exposing cheaters and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's not what the community's there for.
Yeah, no, it's just good, fun gameplay and funny moments and stuff. But yeah,
That's how it should be.
I just hope in the future it gets a little bit better, because everybody's just, I don't want to deal with it, and I don't blame them, because a lot of them, they swapped to full time when it was great, and then all of a sudden this happened, and it's like, well, why are we even doing this? So
yeah,
and I mean, it's great for it to be in a hobby, that's no doubt, but it's difficult if you made it your full time job. Yeah, very
it's difficult to make any hobby a full time job.
Definitely. I mean, my ghillie crafting's just a side gig.
Yeah, my 3D printing, like the speed loader stuff's just a side gig until I can. Hopefully, at some point, I can. The end goal is to get it to a point where I can take it to another company and be like, "Hey, here's my idea. Do you want it?"
Right. Yeah. Here's my patent.
Here's my patent. Here's my idea. Like, I'm willing to work with you on this. And
just give me
going from there,
like 30% stake or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Like just being a businessman.
Yeah. Hello, sharks.
Yeah. I don't think I do very well on Shark Tank.
Nah, screw that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting told off by Mark Cuban and Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, I've done my time getting told off.
Yeah. We'll just chill out.
Yeah.
The next topic with how difficult it is with the sport. I know I'm going on Reddit, but I mean, a lot of discussions happening. This is only 3 months ago. Again, I will say this. I don't like to get political. I am not on either side. I'm strictly independent. I do my own research. I value everybody's opinions and disagreements and stuff like that. No matter how you look at this at the sport, it's going to affect the sport greatly. And that's the tariffs that are going to be happening. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's just 10%. Yeah, but 10% can make or break somebody's sale.
10% of $100. $1,000, you're getting up there. That's still money that's the consumers end up paying. Like your prices going up is going to make it difficult for even just new people to get into the industry, not to mention the other like businesses. Like businesses are going to have to raise prices to be able to stay in business.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like a lot of that tariff money is not going to go towards the businesses themselves, even though it's going to be, it's going to the government is where it's going. And what is the government going to do with that? Okay, I'm getting a little too heated there.
Yeah.
And I get where some people are coming from. It's like, why can't it be U.S. made? Well,
it's difficult. Like production, the U.S. is not fully set up that well for production. Like there are very few companies in the U.S. that have the facilities or even the money to be able to afford to not outsource. Outsourcing is what helps drive costs.
Yeah, and another thing is freaking all the regulations and stuff to manufacture some of these products.
Yeah, it's not easy for businesses to it's as much as it sucks, it's easier for a business. And honestly, it makes a lot more sense because if you're outsourcing products and jobs, then yeah, it sucks. But in that way, you're still involved in the economy. You're still spending money, trading money, and it does well to benefit the global market. It just doesn't really help the local.
Exactly. And a lot of it comes with China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Japan as well with Marui.
Yeah, Japan. Yeah. Tokyo Marui plays a part in it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it affects everybody, and it affects the accessibility for the sport, and the sport needs accessibility because there's not a lot of advertising with everything that's happening right now, with it being suppressed, and that's just going to hurt the companies as a whole. And the best thing to keep this sport going is playing it right and getting the word out. Word of mouth is the biggest part of airsoft.
I agree.
And I mean, I hope in the future we get some U.S. companies, and this is all on hope. Like, you get some U.S. companies that put out some good stuff, and it's relatively good priced, but that's going to be difficult in the coming years for sure, and it's going to be difficult for people already in the sport trying to get just parts. That's going to hurt them. So, and that sucks, because we had my buddy who is a local tech here in Yakima, Ryan, he almost got a patent full. Something fell around. That's a little bit of personal information. I'm not going to get into it, but they were so close to opening, getting a CNC patent and start manufacturing a CNC hop-up unit to compete with Max hop-up units based out of Washington, which would have been huge.
That'd be pretty nice.
It would have been huge.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah. And Ryan, he's like, yeah, I mean, making a little bit of money, but for the most part, like with your speed loader, accessibility and helping out the community. And it's like, damn it, dude. Like, he was so close to doing that. And he wanted to do that. And, that's frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. A
lot of local politics involved there. But, I mean, yeah, I won't get into it. But, yeah, tariffs are 10%. It may sound like, oh, that's not a lot. It can be a lot.
It adds up.
It adds up. Mm-hmm. Like, whether, you're purchasing an MTW, what, 10%? That's like $800 guns, $80.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's a it's a lot more, and it'll definitely restrict the people that are wanting to get into airsoft, because
exactly.
I'm glad I ordered mine when I did, but I mean, still,
yeah,
I can't imagine how it's going to be for somebody who's new to airsoft and wants to get a replica, and they can't afford it because the price went up.
Yeah, and then
$80.
Recently, I got a message here. So I do a lot of third-party figure. I'm a big Transformer nut, and a lot of the Masterpiece stuff from Hasbro is ridiculously priced. So I get a third-party, fourth-party that looks the same and functions the same for a fraction of the cost. USPS just put out that they're going to be holding and delaying parcels that have been imported. So that's goes that. And yeah, that's going to affect a lot of airsoft too, which sucks.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised to see a shortage.
There is going to be,
because even online businesses like Evike, they're not going to have that much inventory, and that inventory is going to only last for so long.
Yeah, and Airsoft GI and then Red Wolf, they're directly shipping from Taiwan.
Yeah, so it's going to increase lead times, and if we're thinking of waiting to hold off to order something, now might be the time to do it, because you're going to be waiting a minute for it.
Which is why I pulled the trigger on my Wasp piston.
Yeah. That makes me glad I ordered my Spectre.
Yeah.
That had I waited until now to order it, well, granted, I still paid more in shipping than I did for I paid more in shipping than I did the actual replica itself. Are you pulling up his video?
I am pulling up his video.
Okay. Yeah, this Echo One Spectre has been a beautiful build.
Yeah.
I'm sad that it I'm sad that we had problems off the gate.
Yes, you heard that right.
Or off the rip. Because I've spent a lot of money on this replica. Whether it's the stock adapter, he put in it. There's a tracer unit inside the hop up. It is a monster. It is a beast. In comparison to, I would say it would even rival most HPA like CQB like Euro builds or anything like that.
Where's tech? All right, guys.
So there it is.
For the Echo One Spectre.
Yeah, it's a beautiful replica, especially
so cool.
Since they haven't made this. They haven't made this since 2014.
Wow, that long.
Yeah, it's been over 10 years. Yeah, so that they're so hard to get their hands on.
Now I'm going to show you the Chrono. All right, got 11.1 lipo and point.
Listen to how this thing sounds.
Spam semi.
Oh, that video
yeah,
doesn't
crispy.
do it justice. It doesn't do it justice at all, I promise.
Right.
Oh
Put it
yeah,
on
no,
binary.
that's with anything.
And here's full
But
auto.
listen to just that response,
Oof.
that full auto. That's
There you go.
and that's still pretty consistent.
That is very
And to
consistent.
finish things off,
Impressive.
got the cosmetics
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, how he did that
50 does
is
work.
freaking incredible.
A lot of man
yeah.
hours.
I mean,
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know,
We paid for him.
Yeah, shout out to Wish Tech.
All right, guys.
Wish Tech, he's a great
Episode
tech.
18 for Echo 1 Spectre.
I honestly probably
Got a
won't go to
rail
anybody else.
mounted up
Yeah, no, it's
for that red dot scope.
yeah, no, he is cool. Yeah, no, yeah, that's a lot of my HPA bills too. With the Kythera and the suppressor, it's so flipping quiet.
You haven't even heard my MTW. My MTW,
Mhm.
I have the only thing that I have on the end of it is
Mhm.
I have a Minnesota Airsoft.
Yeah.
They Minnesota Airsoft has some great mock suppressors.
Those carbon
with
fiber
foam.
ones, right?
Yeah, the carbon fiber ones
seen
with
them.
the foam.
Yeah.
He has versions with the with a tracer unit in it. It's a Ace Tech Brighter C, I think.
Okay.
And it's so quiet, even with just because the one I have is the 6-inch with it's 3 inches of sound dampening foam, and the other 3 inches is the tracer unit itself, and it is whisper quiet. Not maybe if I had to put like a comparison to it, it sounds like 2 or 3 bottles. It sounds like 2 bottles of Coke being opened.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty quiet. It's unless you're standing within 10 feet of me, you're not hearing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's my Squatch gun. That's my Bar 10. I will say, if you're looking for something with the pros and cons to sniping, of course. With the HPA bolt, and then foam filled suppressor, you don't even hear that thing fire. It's just like a little click.
Yeah, it's a little beep.
It's just the solenoid you hear.
Yeah.
It's freaking insane how quiet it is. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get out. Hopefully
it'll be nice to have you around again. It's so boring when I'm the only one doing property line flanks on the other team.
Yeah. Don't be telling our secrets.
They're still not gonna watch.
Oh, I know they're not.
They're still not. It's the best part, and honestly, my favorite part about playing airsoft is just sneaking up behind people. It's a beautiful thing.
It's satisfying.
Being able to, it is super satisfying. Being able to get around somebody and getting the drop on them. It is probably one of the better feelings.
Yeah, like at the indoor Yakima place, everybody's swapped up their gameplay style because they know that I will flank around and safety kill them, and they're like, "How are you so big?" And how are you so quiet? And I'm like,
I doesn't know.
A man doesn't tell his secrets.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like you can have fun with a
Hi, how are you?
$10 Springer.
Yeah, you don't need to have a crazy expensive kit or anything. I used to, when I started playing out airsoft, 7 years ago.
Right.
Because I've been playing for a while.
Same.
I started out with the freaking Elite Force 1911.
Yeah.
And I rocked that for probably a good 3 or 4 years. Only rocking an Elite Force 1911.
Yeah.
Eventually, for my birthday, my parents bought me an ARP9 when that came out. But still, it's a beautiful. It doesn't matter what you have. Getting the drop on people, just like you did there. You got 3 people. That's funny.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Yeah, no, definitely. Like I started out with a Walmart Springer shotgun, and then the next year my parents for Christmas, they went on Airsoft Megastore, and I got an A&K full metal M4A1 carbine. The old
I
ones
used to
that had the
always
battery
sit-
and the hand stock.
I used to always sit on Airsoft Megastore and do their little build your own.
Oh, yeah.
I would do that all the time.
Yeah, those were the days. That was back in 2011. Sheesh.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That
You're making
was
me
a
feel
while
old.
ago. Yeah. No. Well, I think that covers everything. You got anything else that's happening?
Not that I can really think of.
Yeah.
We talked about upcoming events, not just for Nighthawk, but
Mhm.
CQB Underground, Yakima Airsoft Center.
Mhm.
We talked about the MTW's new Jacaris.
Mhm.
We talked about my little shtick.
Right.
I want to say that's about it.
Pretty much
I
covered
can't
everything, man.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm down to chill in the VC a little bit and just hang out too.
Okay, no, you're good.
I'm gonna close out the episode here, but for everyone watching at home, I know it's been a while. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Chrono Shack podcast. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section as usual. Let me know about new stuff that's happening. Check out all the Discord and stuff that I've previously linked. Check out the links down below to everything we've shouted out and so forth. And on that note, I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.